Welcome back everyone to episode 7 of our tutorial series on Distant Worlds Universe. In the last episode we covered the design of civilian mining stations, and although we didn't construct one, our construction ship here is en route to Usulea 2 to build our first mining station there. Now in this episode we're going to be expanding in our initial system. So the first thing that's going to include is our scouts are actually going to reach the different ruins and different ships. We'll actually be able to explore a gas giant to build a gas mining station. And that's the second part of this episode, is that we're going to be expanding our mining stations to relevant planets or planetary bodies. So that being said, the first thing I want to do is delete the old designs, because those are no longer useful for us. Just to make it so that when I bring up the menu on a planet, I don't see the wrong designs. And the next thing I'm going to do is move over and get a second construction ship, because we actually have quite a few things that we want these construction ships to do. So we have enough tasks to warrant us getting a second one. I'm even considering getting a third one, which I probably wouldn't normally do in a gameplay, but just to speed things up in the tutorial. Okay, so now we kind of get to sit back and relax and let things go at 4x. I think this guy's... Oh, there it is. Okay, so we can see down here, this scout has gotten close enough to this planet to enter the investigation zone. So, Great Nexus of Usulea, that's down here. Do we want to investigate the ruins? I may have mentioned this before, but the answer to this, just never ever leave the ruins alone. Thinking back on it, I have never actually chosen that option. But I know that investigating the ruins always leads to something really positive, so that's what we'll do here. Okay, and this means that, as I suspected, that the other rune will contain the hyperdrive technology. This one helped us with improved defense tactics. So I'm going to go to event location, pause, because we have to retask this guy. He's going to move over to this rune planet, but I think this planet Rydevu is on the way. It's close enough that we might as well kind of two birds with one stone. Two planets with one trajectory. So I'm going to get it to move. Which way is Rydevu going? It's going down, so we'll kind of go like right here. And after he moves there, we'll send him exactly to wherever the ruined planet moves. Because it's moving down, the Usulea 7 planet is moving down, but these moons are orbiting, so you never know where this ruined planet is actually going to be. Okay, now let's actually take a look at what kind of goodie we picked up. It was improved defense tactics. Whoops, I don't want to actually research it, but that's going to be really nice. Eventually, that's a technology that we will use. What you'll notice is the technology you pick up from your rune planet in the first starting system, if it gives you a bonus to technology, it'll give you 80k. It doesn't. This is 1/3 of our project, so 240. It gave us 1/3 of that, 80k. If it had given us, what's an example? Like if it had started us on maybe something over here. Yeah, if it had given us like fast mining, which I have had happen before, it only would have given us 80k of 960. So it would have given us, less than 10% of fast mining. So it's really nice to have it. The best case scenario, of course, is if you have it in your energy and construction. If you get proton ionization or enhanced maneuvering. Those are my favorite ones to get research bonuses to. But obviously, I think it's just a random chance for any tier to get it. So, if there's 60 different options, chances are less than 2% that you'll get it in the one that you want. But it's still nice. Eventually, it's just 80k of research less we have to do eventually. That's going to matter a lot less later in the game than right now, which is why I would have preferred one of those early technologies to get the bonus, but it's still a bonus nonetheless. Enough talking about that. So I will continue to monitor my scouts. In fact, I've re-hotkeyed these to be 3, 4, and 5. So we go 3, and I can look at that one, 4 down here, and then 5 over to this guy. So there we go, just like that, so we can keep close tabs on them. And we should have our new construction ship soon. So if you rest your cursor on this event, there it is. Our new construction ship has finished. Now, I think we haven't explored this planet, which I'm pretty sure we're going to want to use, because the gas giants are almost always useful. You always are going to want, if they have a reasonable amount of Castlon. Remember, if I go to our design, our basic space reactor, our fuel type is Castlon. Right now we don't have a source of Castlon, which is a really bad thing, because, I mean, you start with a really sizable reserve on Usilea, your home planet. Well, so for us, Usilea, but whatever your home planet might be. That will deplete eventually, and your ships will run out of fuel, and that's not a good thing. So we're going to need a gas mining station on a gas giant with Castlon very soon. However, this construction ship will finish at Usilea 2, and then we'll retask him probably to do this gas giant if it contains Castlon. For the time being, to get our planets up and running, our mining stations up and running a little bit faster, I'm actually going to send this guy over here. And the double advantage of that is when he finishes here, he can move over and just repair this ship before returning to, get all the stuff he needs for another mining station. Okay, so I'm going to say build on Ubafubi. The reason for that, I knew this because I played through this and saw this already, but we have Nataran incense on here, and a good ratio of it as well. Pretty sizably high at 53, so just in case you can't see it, it'll be on the bottom. And the other one is silicon, which is a very important resource for building a lot of ship components. So this is a great planet, even though it doesn't add up to anywhere near 100% even, which is normally way below threshold. The fact that it has a luxury resource kind of negates the fact that it doesn't, that basically having a luxury resource means we no longer care what the percentages are. We're just going to build there anyway. On top of that, eventually we're going to want a resort here because, oh, this is development bonus for colony. That's not what I thought it would be. I thought that we would get a resort bonus, which means that if you build a orbiting resort, like a place you go to relax, vacation home, then you'd get a bonus to that, but this is not the case. Still, we're going to get our new construction ship to build a mining ore and luxury station here. Again, this one's slightly more expensive, but this one actually has the luxury components that we want. So that's really nice. We get to showcase the luxury ore mining station immediately. Good, so let's let things progress a little bit. Take a breath, and it looks like we're going to get to this gas giant next. Just gonna wait. Oh, you missed it by a little bit. There it is. Okay, so this one does have Castlon. I'm going to retask this scout ship over to here. Just so you know, in case you don't like to be so micromanaging, you can always right-click and hit under Explore this system, and it will, hop around to the different planets. Now, I think you can only have one scout ship exploring in this manner per system, but it does obviously take a lot less micromanagement. The reason why I micromanage these scout ships is a holdover from a previous version of Distant Worlds. I think it was, in Distant Worlds universe, at some point, it was one of the later patches, I think, they fixed the behavior of exploration ships. Exploration ships used to move exactly to the dead middle of whatever body they were trying to explore, and then they would stop and move on. So even though you only need to get within a certain radius, they would always just move exactly here, come to a complete stop, and then move to the next target. So it was an extremely inefficient style of exploration. So doing it the way I'm doing it, where you lead the target and all that, is my holdover from that old system. In the new system with the exploration, I think they get close enough to detect it and then move on to another planet. Now my system is still slightly more efficient if you want to min-max to really a crazy degree. But also, if I forget about an exploration ship, which is like to happen, it becomes much less efficient because my exploration ship will just sit there and not do anything for a little while. That doesn't happen because typically when I play on a very low game speed. This is a very relaxed game for me. I'm not usually playing on 4x, which is what I feel Let's Plays on YouTube will kind of be compelled to be, because there's a lot of dead time if you're playing on a low speed. But I don't mind that. It's kind of fun to just have some music on, nice epic space music going on, and let your system kind of just have fun with it. Be the emperor. Now we have two things that are going to happen almost simultaneously here. This guy is getting very close to exploring this planet with that system or ship that we want to investigate. And this guy's also getting very close to Rydavu. Close enough that since we see that this planet's moving up, although Usilea 7 is moving down, I'm going to right click and move here and forget about this guy. I think he'll get close enough to explore Rydavu. And we can see the symbol for a station, our first one, is this circle, sphere. It's not really a sphere, it's a elliptical sphere. I don't know what the word is. Elongated sphere. It's not a perfect sphere, but it has the asterisk through it as well. That's the symbol for a mining station. A symbol which will become all too familiar to us as we build more and more. Great, so this is up here. We've encountered this abandoned ship. What do we want to do? Of course, we want to investigate. And that means we're going to take over control. And this also brings to us a new mechanic that I can showcase, revealing information about your galaxy. So it says the ship also reveals some intriguing information. Displayed on the main screen are navigational directions pointing to ocean planet Akdar 3 in the Akdar system in sector A3. Well, an Akdar system sounds pretty cool to the Akdarian people. Now, if we go to event location, it's just going to go to where this ship was acquired. We'll still do that and then pause because, as always, we have to retask our explorer. We just want him to go down here. And this new ship, almost always what you're going to want to do, because this ship does not have hyperdrive. However, it does have a lot of interesting technology. Most of the components on this ship are going to be things which we currently don't have access to in terms of research. Shields, standard fuel cells instead of small fuel cells. I don't think we have armor yet. We don't have combat targeting systems, countermeasures, etc., etc., etc. So the best thing to do with this first ship is, sadly, to scrap it. We're going to retire at nearest shipyard. Don't do scrap ship immediately. But if you do at nearest shipyard, it's going to go to Usilea 3 spaceport, and it's going to retire, which basically means it'll become scrapped. Why would you want to do that? Because when you scrap a ship with technology that you currently don't possess, it'll pick one of those technologies that you don't possess, and it'll give you a research bonus to it. So we'll jump up maybe to like 20% in one of the things. Maybe it'll even be 50%. I don't know. It's possible for us to just research it outright. I'm not exactly sure how the mechanic for that research works, but we'll just see as it goes in. So that's going to make its way home, and after that, we should get some kind of research bonus for it. Now, this guy's obviously finished researching this. We have 78% gold. Not going to be a candidate for a mining station. And this is an extremely, extremely low planet in terms of resources go. But it does give us, if we put a research station here with any kind of energy research, it'll give us an overall bonus, like a galaxy-wide bonus to our energy research rate. Now that is pretty cool, because this is one of the few mechanics that can boost your research beyond its normal maximum. So that's going to be really important for us to take advantage of, but we will need to build a research station over there, and I probably won't cover that in this episode because I don't have it planned. So in order to squeeze in the most for our time, I'm going to stick to the things that I have designed. Now this guy's done exploring this area. We're going to get him to ping back over to here to this Usilea 1 and her 2 moons. Actually, I should find out which direction that person's moving. That body's moving. A little bit down, so do that. Okay, did we actually get Reddit? Oh my gosh. 50, 32. Okay, that's 50 and 32 is 80 to 119. Wow, so this is like 168%, 167% if you add all the research. This is an extremely good planet. Not only that, but this is luxury, right? Rapidia Mail, yeah. Oh, this is an amazing planet. We're going to retask our construction ship immediately to not build on Ubafubi, but to move over here. And because this one also has this luxury resource, one thing I should probably showcase here is these luxury resources, they're good for your home planet to have no matter what, because it gives them a bonus to happiness, and it usually helps the money, the like trading. You make money off the trades of these luxury resources. But one thing I didn't showcase is that sometimes, if we click on, this is my home planet, which I have hotkeyed, I go to Actarians, sometimes these luxury resources have a bonus for us. Nephthys wine and Ucantian pearl. So steel is helping us already because we do have access to steel, but neither of these luxury resources unfortunately have any special bonus for the Actarian people, which just means that they're still useful to have. I think the incense is actually really rare, right? So very rare, and this one's, I don't think the Raphidium is, I think it's common. No, it's also very rare. Okay, great. So these are actually two important resources for us to have, which we can trade with other empires eventually, but still make us happy in the meantime. And that is such a good planet with such a diverse resource group. Emerald crystal, chromium, polymer, carbon fiber, necrostone. That's amazing. This is an amazing planet. This may be one of the best planets I've ever seen as far as resources I've encountered. I mean, especially in my home system. So we will definitely retest this guy, who's already carrying the goods he needs for a mining luxury station. We'll just have him build it over here instead. So now, instead of Ubafubi, he now moves over to Rydavu. Perfect. I'm glad we noticed that. And maybe we should even build a third construction ship, because we are actually getting quite a good number of candidates for research. Now, I want to focus on this thing that we learned about Actar and A3. I'm going to hit delete to go to the local system view. We're obviously in A2, and we can see it's already highlighted. This sphere is expanding to showcase that there's something special here. So this is Actar. And what we've learned from the navigational sensors or whatever information we picked up from that ship that we've now sent to retire is it gave us some indication of something special in this system. So especially because with the system being named Actar, we also assume that there's an independent colony here, which will be Actarians, which makes it a very good candidate for early colonization for us. So we don't have hyperdrive technology, so it's not something we can deal with right now, but eventually we're really going to want to explore that system. Okay, great. Now, before we bring this episode to a close, I think I want to make sure we explore our hyperdrive technology over here. Good. So this is our first mining station, actually now complete. Should be getting its, well, it says it's complete. It's not yet, is it? Well, we're going to retask this construction ship to build a gas mining station over here, because Castellan is going to be very important, as I mentioned, for the functioning of our empire. So we'll let that construction ship, which means I don't think I need a second construction ship quite yet. Getting these 3 planets is already going to be a very good initial setup. And there we have it, the runes over here. We finally explored them. So investigate the runes, and this is going to tell us warp field precursors. And that unlocks our research there. So I'm going to go to the event location, pause. This guy is going to kind of dance around all these different planetary bodies, trying to get information on them. But in the meantime, what are we at in terms of... So space construction is at 92. I know we have shields queued up next, but we'll right-click to release that. Left-click precursors, and then left-click shields to get that one lined up after warp field precursors. So now at this point, energy and construction is going to be stuck on warp field precursors for a pretty long time. But that's just fine. I mean, the technology is worth the investment. That's good. Sets us up nicely. Because we're at 92%, I'm just going to let space construction finish. If we were any lower than like 85, I would probably put warp field precursors on and then move back to space construction afterwards. A note about research, just in case I didn't make this clear already. You don't lose progress in research by switching over. So we're at 92%. If we were to switch around and come back, we'd still be at 92% when we came back. So there's not really a disadvantage to switching off, other than you're so close to finishing it, you might as well eke it out for the next week or two just to get that bonus. So Well, very good. I think that's all I wanted to cover in this episode. I might speed forward a little bit before the next episode, do a little warp into the future. I'm going to explore all the planets in the system so that when we come back in the next episode, I'm ready to talk about those things directly, and I don't have to worry about micromanaging it. And I'll try to do that before this ship actually retires so that we can see the effect that has. Anyways, thanks for watching this episode. Hope you're finding it helpful, and stay tuned for more in the next.